Okay, a quarter. You hardly even know if you lose. I mean, it's only a quarter.
Okay, fine. I'll bet you a quarter.
Hey everyone, welcome back to TV Deep Dive. I'm your host, Amelia, and today we're breaking down the explosive episode 38 of Beyond the Gates, the penultimate episode before next week's season finale. If you've been following our recaps all season, you know we're at a critical point with virtually every character facing life-changing decisions. And if you're new here, well, you've picked quite the episode to jump in. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss our finale breakdown next week. This is your official spoiler warning. We're covering everything from this game-changing episode titled The Precipice. And what an appropriate title it was, with multiple characters literally standing at the edge of disaster. Let's dive in. After 37 episodes of building tensions, shifting alliances, and buried secrets coming to light, The Precipice delivers the explosive confrontations we've been waiting for. The federal investigation into Vernon's business dealings has reached its climax. Anita's political campaign faces its greatest challenge, and the younger generation must finally choose sides in a community that's fracturing beyond repair. What makes this episode so powerful is how it pays off storylines that have been building since the pilot. Characters who once maintained perfect facades are now fully exposed, and the gates that once protected this community now seem more like prison walls as federal agents, media scrutiny, and internal betrayals close in from all sides. The episode centers around three major events: the Oakwood Estates Board emergency meeting called to address the scandal, Chelsea Hamilton's surprise announcement at the Richardson Financial Investor Conference, and the long-awaited confrontation between Dani and her parents over her role in the federal investigation. Let's break down exactly how these explosive situations unfolded. After 20 episodes of slow-burning investigation storylines, the federal case against Vernon Dupree has finally reached its endgame. The episode opens with a tense scene between Special Agent Harlow and Dani Dupree, who we now know has been cooperating as a confidential informant since Episode 12's shocking revelation. Agent Harlow delivers the ultimatum we've been anticipating. By this time tomorrow, your father will either be in custody or a fugitive. The choice is his. This scene brilliantly mirrors their first meeting in Episode 12, but with Dani now showing the confident resolve that's defined her character arc this season. The investigation storyline takes a stunning turn when we discover that Martin Richardson has also been cooperating with federal authorities, his involvement stemming from Vernon's connection to the mysterious death of Marcus Hamilton that has been teased since the pilot. Martin's emotional confession to Smitty about his role in these events years ago provides one of the episode's most powerful moments. I've spent 20 years building walls to protect myself from the truth, but the truth doesn't disappear behind walls, it just grows stronger in the dark. Meanwhile, Vernon demonstrates why he's been such a compelling antagonist all season. Rather than crumbling under pressure, he orchestrates a complex counter-strategy, calling in favors from political connections established in the City Hall storyline from episodes 25 to 30. His chilling conversation with Senator Williams, who we haven't seen since episode 19, suggests he still has cards to play. What makes this storyline so effective is how it interweaves legal jeopardy with family loyalty. As federal agents execute search warrants at both Dupree developments and the family home, we see Anita forced to choose between protecting her husband and salvaging her own political aspirations, a conflict that's been brewing since her campaign launch in episode 22. The emergency board meeting sequence delivers some of the most charged confrontations we've seen all season. Director uses a rotating camera technique that creates mounting tension as community members choose sides in the growing scandal. Bill Hamilton, whose rivalry with Vernon has been central to the show, finally has his moment of triumph. But the scene is written with enough nuance to make his victory feel hollow rather than triumphant. His powerful line to Vernon, "I didn't destroy you, Vernon. I just lived long enough to watch you destroy yourself," carries the weight of their 30-year feud. Leslie Thomas, whose quiet gathering of information throughout the season finally pays off, delivers perhaps the episode's most surprising betrayal. After seemingly supporting the Duprees all season, despite our suspicions, she presents evidence that Vernon falsified community approval documents for the Westlake project, a revelation that cost him his position as board chairman. The community's fragmentation is perfectly visualized in how characters physically position themselves around the boardroom table, a metaphorical representation of the social realignment that's been happening all season. Characters who once stood firmly in the Dupree camp, like the Johnsons and Prestons, now distance themselves as the family's power wanes. Eva Thomas gets one of her strongest moments of the season when she finally stands up to her manipulative sister Leslie with the devastating line, "You didn't expose corruption. You just replaced it with your own." This confrontation pays off tension that's been building between the sisters since episode 9's heated dinner party. While the older generation faces the consequences of past decisions, episode 38 brilliantly showcases how the younger characters have evolved into forces of their own. Chelsea Hamilton's storyline reaches its zenith at the Richardson Financial Investor Conference. After 37 episodes of calculating ambition, Chelsea finally makes her power move by revealing her secret acquisition of controlling interest in Richardson Financial, a stunning development that pays off her quiet maneuvering since episode 19. The boardroom scene where Chelsea outmaneuvers Ted Richardson, using his own financial missteps against him, delivers one of the most satisfying power shifts of the season. Her line, "You were so busy watching your father-in-law that you never saw me coming," perfectly encapsulates how the show subverts expectations about where the real threat would come from. Meanwhile, Nicole Dupree Richardson faces her own crucible as she's forced to choose between family loyalty and her marriage. Her confrontation with Ted about his financial mismanagement, which we've seen hints of since episode 4, culminates in the devastating revelation that he's been embezzling from the Dupree Foundation to cover personal losses, a betrayal that strikes at both her family ties and personal trust. Naomi Hamilton continues her season-long journey toward independence with her decision to testify about environmental violations she witnessed while working at Hamilton Enterprises, a moral stand that completes her evolution from the party girl we met in the pilot to the principled whistleblower she's become. The younger generation storylines converge when Dani, Chelsea, Nicole, and Naomi unexpectedly find themselves allied against the systems their parents built, a thematic culmination that was brilliantly foreshadowed in their seemingly casual conversation at the charity lunch in episode 31. The episode's emotional core comes from the long-awaited confrontation between Dani and her parents at the Dupree mansion. After 38 episodes of building tension, this scene delivers the emotional payoff viewers have been waiting for. Anita's realization that her own daughter has been working with federal authorities creates one of the season's most powerful moments. S' performance as she cycles through disbelief, rage, and finally a broken acceptance showcases why she's receiving Emmy buzz for this role. The three-way confrontation between Vernon, Anita, and Dani brings to the surface family dynamics that have been simmering since the pilot. Vernon's acknowledgement of his crimes comes with the chilling justification, "Everything I did was to build something that would outlast me, something worthy of our name." This line perfectly encapsulates the theme of toxic legacy that's run throughout the season. Dani's response, "Some legacies aren't worth preserving," represents the culmination of her season-long journey from idealistic but naive law graduate to a woman willing to dismantle her own family's power to uphold her principles. The scene's direction deserves special mention, with the camera work increasingly destabilized as the family unit fractures, and the Dupree mansion, once the symbol of their perfect life, now feeling cavernous and cold, with strategic lighting that casts harsh shadows across once warm family spaces. One of the most surprising developments in episode 38 is the formation of unexpected alliances among previously opposed characters. Martin Richardson and Bill Hamilton's clandestine meeting, where they finally address their shared history with Marcus Hamilton's death, resolves a mystery that's been building since episode 1. The revelation that neither man was directly responsible, but both covered up evidence implicating Vernon, creates a new dynamic heading into the finale. Meanwhile, Smitty Richardson and Eva Thomas form their own alliance to protect those who might be caught in the crossfire of the federal investigation. Their efforts to secure the Community Foundation's assets independently from both the Dupree and Hamilton influences represents a potential path forward for the community beyond its founding families. Leslie Thomas's final scene reveals her ultimate agenda wasn't personal revenge against the Duprees as we suspected, but rather positioning herself to take control of the Westlake Development Project, a masterful long game that explains her seemingly contradictory actions throughout the season. The most shocking alliance comes in the episode's final moments, when Anita Dupree arrives at Chelsea Hamilton's door with an unexpected proposition, suggesting these two formidable women might join forces against both their families. This cliffhanger brilliantly sets up next week's finale by pairing the two most strategic characters in the series in a potential partnership no one saw coming. The recurring motif of gates opening and closing throughout the episode visually represents how the boundaries between public and private, truth and deception are finally dissolving. The striking image of federal agents literally breaking through the gates of Oakwood Estates provides a visual culmination of the show's central metaphor. The weather progression throughout the episode, beginning with clear skies and ending with an approaching storm, provides perfect pathetic fallacy for the emotional journey. Director uses this building storm in the background of key scenes to create mounting tension, culminating in the lightning strike that symbolically cuts power to the Dupree mansion during the family confrontation. The costume design continues its brilliant visual storytelling, with Anita transitioning from her signature bold colors to a more subdued palette as her political aspirations unravel, while Chelsea's wardrobe evolves toward more authoritative styling as she claims power. The episode's final montage, cutting between characters as they each face their own precipice, uses parallel visual composition to draw connections between seemingly separate storylines, a technique the show has employed masterfully all season. Will Vernon face justice, or will his political connections provide an escape route? 2. How will Anita and Chelsea's unexpected alliance reshape the power structure of Oakwood Estates? 3. Can the Richardson marriage survive the dual revelations about Ted's financial crimes and Martin's involvement in the federal case? 4. Will Dani's principles withstand the personal cost of betraying her family? 5. How will the revelation about Marcus Hamilton's death impact Bill's decades-long vendetta? Based on the groundwork laid throughout the season, I'm predicting a finale that subverts expectations rather than delivering neat justice. The show has consistently emphasized how power protects itself, suggesting Vernon may escape full legal consequences while losing what he truly values: his reputation and community standing. The most interesting potential development lies with the younger generation characters, whose alliance against their parents' corruption positions them as the potential future leaders of a reformed Oakwood Estates, though Chelsea's ruthless methods raise questions about whether new leadership would truly bring change. As we approach the finale, it's worth reflecting on the remarkable journey this first season has taken us on. From the seemingly perfect community we saw in Episode 1 to the fractured landscape of Episode 38, Beyond the Gates has delivered a nuanced examination of power, privilege, and the cost of ambition. The show's greatest strength has been its willingness to let characters evolve in surprising ways, with initial villains revealing unexpected depth while seeming heroes exposed moral compromises. By focusing on an affluent Black community, the series has explored unique intersections of race, class, and power rarely seen on television with such complexity. Whatever next week's finale brings, Season 1 of Beyond the Gates has established itself as one of the most compelling dramas of 2025, combining the soapy pleasure of elite family conflict with thoughtful social commentary and exceptional performances. That wraps up our breakdown of Episode 38. What did you think of the confrontations we've been waiting for all season? Were you surprised by Chelsea's power move or Anita's final decision? Let me know your predictions for the finale in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit that like button and subscribe for our comprehensive finale analysis next week. I'll be breaking down every revelation and its implications for the already confirmed second season. A huge thanks to my channel members who support these in-depth analyses. If you'd like to join our members-only discussion about Beyond the Gates, check out the link in the description. Until next week's finale, I'm Amelia with TV Deep Dive, reminding you that sometimes the most dramatic stories happen beyond the gates of perception. See you for the finale.